Some social media users questioning former Basic Education Minister Angie Motshekga's move to the Defence Department. The country's Defence Force has been battling with inadequate funding, training and outdated equipment in some instances, among the many other issues. Independent defence analyst is Helmut Heitman, and alongside him is the South African National Defence Union's Secretary, Advocate Pikkie Greeff. To both of you gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Advocate Greeff, I'd like to start with you. From basic education to the Department of Defence, are you full of expectation when it comes to the appointment of Minister Angie Motshekga?
Good evening. I think, to be fair, in as much as we expect our members to be treated with respect and so on, we will be fair to the minister as well, whoever is appointed in that post. I think she must be given a chance to take up her portfolio. And I think she understands that the ball is in her court now quite firmly and, to prove herself in that position. And we certainly are not going to be obstructive in that sense. We will find a way of working with the minister, and we are certainly reaching out to her office as we speak.
Mr. Heitman, let's come to you. She is deputized by someone who has lots of experience in the military, and that is why he sometimes is referred to as General Holomisa. Does that fill you with hope, though, that the minister is not entirely out of depth?
Yes, unless he gets shunted off to look after veterans, which is one rumor. But I think to me the real issue is that I would not have changed ministers now. We've just had a failed mission in Mozambique. We have a very difficult situation in the Congo, in the DRC. To change jockeys in the middle of the race like this, our president, I think I would have asked Mr. Minister Modise to stay on a little longer as one of those ministers you can take from outside Parliament, just to have continuity for another while until things stabilize in the DRC. We know what we're doing. This way, it's very unfair on the new minister, it's unfair on the new deputies, it's unfair on the Defence Force.
Advocate Greeff, the issues in the Defence Force, as Mr. Heitman seeks to highlight, they are well documented. For the viewer who may not know this, just talk to us about what some of these pressing ones are, and do you think that the two individuals appointed here are up to the task?
Well, I think some of the issues are, as you highlighted, equipment shortages, uniform shortages, ration shortages, disorganizing in planning and delivering goods to soldiers on deployment, etc. And then there's a whole lot of projects that are just standing still because of a lack of funding. And of course, the budget constraints in the Defence Force is well known by now. I don't think it's up to any one or two individuals to solve those problems. Rather, it should be a team effort. And we certainly hope with General Holomisa also there, we've got some expertise now from a person with a military background and a political background. He understands the problem of the Defence Force as far as we can tell. And we hope that the minister will be relying on General Holomisa quite heavily. And we would like to make that a team effort. Let's see if we can fix this Defence Force together. I don't think we should just, prematurely decide that someone is maybe not up to the job. It's for them to prove that they are.
Mr. Heitman, are you very eager to tell us what some of the immediate priorities of these political principles ought to be right now?
Look, I think the immediate priority must be to do something about our deployment in the DRC. Either wind it down, get our people out if we can, or find some way to get air support to them, to get water locating radars in there, and to get the rest of the contingent in, so we're actually at full strength. It's an either or, and we've gone in slowly, which is a problem. It suggests weakness. They've been probing us, and so far we haven't been able to respond properly. That would be the immediate thing on my front burner. Beyond that, one needs to start looking at getting equipment back into a serviceable state. Forget new equipment, forget even closing capability gaps. Let's get what we have working. Let's get the pilots flying again. Let's get ships to sea. Let's have more field training exercises so people, unit commanders can actually work work with their units. Those are the problems. There's nothing much wrong with our people. And I think Bantu Greeff will agree with me. There's nothing wrong with our people. It's if you don't have the money to have equipment to keep equipment running, if you don't have money to train properly, you're not going to be good.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So that's where the two priorities would be for me.
All right. Advocate Greeff, you and I have discussed this before. All the priorities that Mr. Heitman lists here, but these important priorities are going to require lots of money. National Treasury becomes that department. In your view, how soon should these two start knocking at that door? In fact, I suppose this will obviously be the role of the minister here as opposed to the deputy minister.
It's absolutely essential that she gets to build a relationship with National Treasury. You know, I think it's worth mentioning that Minister Motshekga comes from one of the most well-funded departments in the public service to the worst funded department in the public service. And so if the Defence Force fails, this country fails. And it needs money. You know, the Defence Force needs funding. The minister needs to get to National Treasury very quickly and have a list of priorities. I agree completely with Helmut. The things that he listed there, that should be the priority right now. It's going to be, she's going to have to get used to working in the department where funds are a dire problem. And that is really something she's going to have to tackle very serious.
Gentlemen, I want to thank you both for your time and expertise here. Helmut Heitman is a defence analyst and Advocate Pikkie Greeff is the South African National Defence Union's secretary.